reminders before we begin. When you join the Zoom meeting, please immediately click on the globe interpretation icon to select your preferred listening language. Kindly see the photo flashed on your screens. Second, please change your Zoom name using this format. Language group -name. For example, English-Salle.
Third, please keep your microphones on mute when you are not speaking. And to have a more immersive experience in the presence of our founder, please change your active speaker mode. This can be done by clicking on View on the top right corner of your Zoom call and select Speaker. This will highlight those who will be speaking today.
Once again, good day everyone. Here are a few reminders before we begin. When you join the Zoom meeting, please immediately click on the globe interpretation icon to select your preferred listening language. Kindly see the photo flashed on your screens. Second, please change your Zoom name using this format. Language group -name. For example, English-Salle.
Third, please keep your microphones on mute when you are not speaking. And fourth, to have a more immersive experience in the presence of our founder, please change to active speaker mode. This can be done by clicking on View on the top right corner of your Zoom call screen and select Speaker. This will highlight those speaking today.
Good day and welcome Lasallians from all over the world. I am Lara Homalesa, an undergraduate university student from De La Salle University, Manila, Philippines. Welcome to today's online event entitled We Are One La Salle, the first ever online encounter with our newly elected Superior General, Brother Armin Luistro.
Hello, everyone. My name is Christian Camacho, and I am a De La Salle Christian brother in formation in the Midwest District of the United States of America. And we are your hosts for today's event. Please take some time today to be in the presence of our wonderful Lasallian world as we begin a pivotal chapter in our illustrious 303rd year as an institute guided by our founder, St. John Baptiste de La Salle. We are very grateful and excited to share this space with all of you.
I definitely agree with you there, Christian. Now, to get to know our audience a little bit better, I invite our Zoom participants to type in the Zoom chat box a word that describes your own understanding of One La Salle. Again, please type a word or words in the Zoom chat box that describes what is your own understanding of One La Salle. Okay, let's see the chat box. May I go first, Christian? Is it
Of course,
okay?
of course.
Okay, I see here comunidad, community. There's also familia, family. How about you, Christian? What do you see in the chat box?
Yes, I see inclusivity, joy, a lot of comunidad, fraternidad, solidaridad. I love all the translations. Amazing. Servicio, familia, mission. I can go on all day, but we need to go on.
Yeah. It's so nice to see that our participants here are very engaging in our online event today. So we are also live on Facebook and YouTube. So to our online friends joining us, please type in the comment box your ideas of One La Salle. There, we also have Facebook and YouTube viewers who are with us today.
Okay, so please keep those responses coming. I'm seeing so many good ones. Transcendence, Indivisa Manent, again, comunidad. It's a strong aspect. So, as we begin our time today, may I invite our international Young Lasallians prayer group to lead us in prayer. The text will be shown on screen with translations, so you are able to follow and pray with us in unity of Christ.
At this point, I would like to call on our prayer leaders, Margot Lemaire from France, Alejandro Carrasco from Mexico, and Brother Uche Ilozue from Nigeria. This international prayer group has been gathered by Sean Thomas from the UK.
Let us take a moment to bring ourselves into a space of reflection and prayer. Let us remember we are in the holy presence of God. Today, we gather in the goodness of this place and time. From all corners of the globe, We bring our diversity and richness of culture. Today, we gather in the warmth of God's presence. Our lives are blessed with both peace and holiness in many ways, and the examples set by our founder. Today, we gather in the spirit of change. We are open to new things, new adventures, new ways of thinking, and new life.
Señor, abre nuestros oídos y nuestros corazones a tu palabra, para que, plantados como una semilla en la tierra, seamos fortalecidos y se nos dé nueva vida y confianza para crecer. Al reunirnos con nuestra comunidad lasaliana, recordemos que siempre estamos juntos y por asociación, unos con San Juan Bautista de la Salle nos recuerda que el ejemplo causa una impresión mucho mayor en la mente y el corazón que las palabras. Así pues, seamos hoy ejemplos de cambio. No nos limitemos a hablar de cambio. No nos limitemos a hablar de paz. No nos dejemos desarraigar por la negatividad que el mundo puede presentar. Vayamos a nuestras realidades, a nuestras escuelas, a nuestros centros, a nuestras familias y seamos ejemplos, discípulos de lo que hoy discutimos aquí. Seamos una red de cambio, un grupo que se aventura, junto a la energía y la alegría.
Dans la Bible, nous entendons Jésus prêcher sur le grain de moutarde. Il dit, « En vérité, je vous le dis, si vous avez la foi aussi petite qu'un grain de moutarde, vous pouvez dire à cette montagne, « Déplace-toi d'ici à là » et elle se déplacera. Rien ne vous sera impossible. Si seuls nous pouvons déplacer des montagnes, alors pensez à ce que nous pourrions faire en tant qu'une La Salle. Au sein de notre réseau, nous apportons tous nos propres dons et talents, nos propres joies et luttes. C'est cette expérience de vie individuelle qui nous rend plus forts en tant que groupe. Et aujourd'hui, dans un temps de réflexion, nous vous demandons de considérer ces questions. Seigneur, depuis le tout début des temps, tu as apporté le changement. Tu as créé les cieux et la terre, et tu as apporté la lumière dans le vide des ténèbres. Fais de nous des personnes ouvertes au changement et à la nouveauté de la vie. Aide-nous à être des graines d'espoir, comme à partir de quelque chose d'aussi petit qu'une graine de moutarde. De grands arbres poussent, les oiseaux trouvent un abri et les gens y sont attirés.
Que seamos una imagen de crecimiento, un lugar para que la gente se refugie y encuentre la paz. Que nos bendiga a nosotros y a todos los que encontramos en el camino mientras tocamos sus corazones con nuestro ejemplo. Que tengamos el valor y la sabiduría de liderar en la fe, el servicio y la comunión. En memoria de nuestro fundador, Juan Bautista de La Salle. Por siempre nos mantenemos unidos.
Saint John Baptiste de La Salle, pray for us. Live Jesus in our hearts forever. Thank you for joining us in prayer, and it is wonderful to be with you all today. Thank you.
Okay. In humble gratitude and appreciation for our time in meditation together, thank you, Margot, Gara, Brother Uche, and Sean for that reflective prayer. We all bring our struggles and accomplishments together to form one La Salle. For our Lasallian family, who are now joining the Zoom meeting, please do not forget to click on the globe interpretation icon to select your preferred listening language, as well as the active speaker option.
Thank you for that reminder, Christian. So at this point, we will be introducing a very special guest for today's event. Christian, please go ahead.
Of course, thank you, Lara. Well, I have the honor to introduce to you all the newly elected Superior General of the Institute of the Brothers of the Christian School. Brother Armin has accumulated a rich history of the value that we hold close to us, which is quality education. Brother Armin began his journey to be a brother in 1979 when he entered the postulancy scholasticate. He then joined the novitiate 2 years later in 1981 and was a scholastic in 1982. Brother Armin had various teaching assignments the following years. He also served as Director for Vocations, Director of the House of Studies, and Director of Postulancy. Brother Armin was the Director of the Novitiate Classes of Brothers in Lipa City for 4 years, and in 1997, he was selected as the Provincial Visitor of the Legacy District of the Philippines, and at the same time was also the titular visitor of this sub-district of Myanmar. After ending his time as provincial visitor in 2004, Brother Armin became the president of De La Salle University in Manila, Philippines until 2010. In 2010, Brother Armin then served as the secretary for the Department of Education in the Republic of the Philippines for 6 years. After finishing up his time as Secretary of Department of Education, Brother Armin would then become a president of the Philippine School Business of Social Progress.
And we're not yet finished. From 2017 to 2019, he both served as president of De La Salle Philippines and the De La Salle University Science Foundation. In 2019, he became the brother visitor of the Lasallian East Asia District. And starting this year, he will serve as our Superior General. My fellow Lasallians, let us all welcome Brother Armin Luistro.
Thank you very much, Lara. I'm glad to see you again, although virtually. Christian, very, very pleased to meet you for the first time virtually. That was a long-winded introduction. I hope that did not scare all those who are participating today. Let me start with, I was just reading this Springtide report. And this is a wonderful report about what young people are thinking and feeling. And I happen to just gloss over this comment from Elsa, a young Hindu woman in her senior year high school. And she says, and I quote, "Everyone is just trying to live their lives to show a certain face out to the world, not who they are or their personality. They can be battling a million different things and nobody will know. And they don't want to show anyone because they want to keep a certain persona up to the entire world." That's Elsa. At a certain point in my life, I could have borrowed Elsa's words. There was a time in my life when I wanted to put up a front until I decided, no. I think it's better to be upfront about who I am, warts and all, and I chose to be a brother. And that's the short story of my life. But I wanted to use that as my starting point for my sharing this afternoon to what I understand are mostly young people in the world. I was just thinking, if we go back 340 years and check out how was John Baptist when he started this journey. Was he like me, what I'm going through now? Was he like Elsa, unsure about what the world is and how I will confront that world? Well, as you all know, John was born in sometime in 1651, but he entered, much like most young people in the world today, at around 18 years old. And that's the age of Elsa. John Baptist entered the university. And shortly after, while he was in the university, both his parents died. So he was an orphan very early in life, a young man. He was the eldest in the family, and he had this grave responsibility to be in charge of at least his siblings, at least those who were still staying at home. That was at 21 years old. And he decided he'll continue on with his studies. By age 27, he was ordained a priest. That was 1678. And that was pretty much the story of John Baptist's first phase in his life. Everything seemed to be very much according to what society and people expected. You study, you go to the university. In his case, he took the career of a priestly vocation and he was ordained. But shortly after his ordination, in fact, just a year after his ordination, something changed. That change was brought about by an extraordinary event, which, if you look at the circumstances, entire life. Prior to that, he was in the university. He did what every young person who had a dream in life would do: study very well. He did what his family expected. After his parents died, he took care of his younger siblings. And I was just thinking, for what? I mean, young people do things many times out of duty. I have to do this because that's what society expects. Sometimes it's what my family expects. And that's what John did for his first phase in life. But something really changed. When he turned 28, very much a young person, he met in a doorway someone who's called Adrian Niel. And that chance encounter at 28 just changed his entire life. From somebody who did what was expected of him, from somebody who followed the straight path, Jean-Baptiste this time changed courses. And all of a sudden, by 1680, the year after, he was just 29 years old, a very young person. He started what we know now as the Lasallian enterprise. Can you imagine? I always look at John Baptist de La Salle as this holy, revered old man, wise in years, and a good administrator. But I look back at his life and I say, gosh, he started all these dreams when he was only 29. And that was, the impetus for that was one encounter, a chance meeting with Adrian Niel. And from that time on, for the rest of his life, almost 40 years, De La Salle did what he really wanted to do. Not because people expected these are the types of things you must do. He did it with passion. He had a lot of opposition, but he carried on because he believed this is what I am called to do. That's the story, that's the founding story of what La Salle is all about. A little window was opened, a new pathway, and John just embraced this new thing. He found meaning and hopes and dreams for the world just matched, dovetailed with his own dreams for himself. I thought that's exactly what the general chapter and what we, Lasallians, young and old, are called to do today. First of all, to connect with who I really am deep within, not the facade that I try to put up because that's what people expect of me. I need, first of all, to be in touch with who I am, what truly makes me happy. I encourage you to open up, not just through your studies. Sometimes school is good, but schooling does not open you to everything about life. It's good for young people to open up doors and windows so that you can dive into the depth of what life is and what life really offers. Who is your Adrian Niel? Who is that person who opens you to the realities of life that books cannot reveal? Reconnect not just with yourself, but with the world outside. A world which is held dearly in the palm of God's hand. That's what being a Lasallian today requires. It requires being true to myself and rediscovering that little spark that sometimes is covered by other things that are not really important. But many times, we can discover who we are, not just by navel gazing, but by opening our world to the stories of other people, some of them very different from who I am, different from how I look, the language I speak, the experience I have in life. A whole new world where I will discover that this other who is very different is someone who is a brother and a sister to me. That's what the brothers gathered for our 46th General Chapter reflected about. How can we reconnect with you, young people? How could we reconnect with the world? How many of us know the story of at least one young Ukrainian who had to leave his home, not have the chance to go to school and continue schooling, and now suddenly finds himself or herself in a strange land because of a political crisis that has hit the country. How many of you are in touch with an immigrant who has lost his rootedness because his parents has moved out into another world that is so strange to his own experience? When we had the chance to present to Pope Francis the resolutions of the 46th General Chapter, he actually challenged us. He says, just two very simple things. He says, you know, the world is so broken. Everything is broken. The world, we have actually broken the world in the first place. Climate change tells us that we have not taken care of our world. And we are disconnected from the world that we live in. But people are also very disconnected with each other. The pandemic has actually created a lot of vacant spaces where people feel they are not in any way connected with real people. And despite the mobility now and the connectivity that's brought about by social media and the internet, a lot of young people feel they are really floating and they have no deep connection. You know what the Pope challenged us? He says, from the very name, brother, you can discover the richness of your vocation. Be a real brother. Be a real sister. I'm reminded of this rabbi who asked his disciples, when do you know that dawn is here? Someone said, when you can distinguish between a white thread from a black thread, then the dawn has come. Another ventured by saying, well, when you can see the silhouette of a tree against the horizon, that means dawn has come. And there were many other possible answers. But the rabbi finally said, no, you know, dawn is here when you can look into the eyes of another. Someone who is a stranger, and you could see and recognize a brother and a sister, then dawn has arrived. What a wonderful vision for our world today. What a wonderful challenge for Lasallians like you and me. Do we have the time to look into each other's eyes? Or do we spend most of our time trying to connect with social media and forget that there is one person right in front of me who just wants me to listen to her? Can I be courageous enough to embrace someone who is totally different from me, strange, and say, you are my long-lost brother. You are a dear sister to me. If we can do that, we can recognize a spark that is already within, and we can unite that spark with another. That's actually the dream of De La Salle. When he met Adrian Niel, both of them had a convergence of mind and heart. And they told themselves, look at the street kids in front of us, abandoned by their parents, their father, because they're out at war. Their mothers are busy looking for livelihood and food to feed them with. And they're left all alone by themselves. And Adrian Niel and John Baptist de La Salle had this encounter, and they said, they are our brothers. They are our younger brothers. And we will be a brother to them. That was how this whole Lasallian enterprise started. And from that time on, they said, the only way to reach out to them is by looking for other similarly kind hearts, hearts that are willing to embrace another as a brother and a sister. And that's how our Christian schools, LaSalle schools, came about. They said, we will create a safe space where those who are disconnected from the world can feel they're very welcome. Because God welcomes each of us dearly and cares for us in the palm of his hands. And that's what we will do to these young boys who don't have any safe space. We will not ask where you came from. We will not judge what you have done. We will open the doors wide and embrace you as my brother and my sister. Dear friends, the 46th General Chapter asks us to do exactly the same. The Pope urges us to live our vocation as Lasallians at a time when the world is so broken, nobody wants to do anything about it. And that's how we are encouraged even today as we gather as Lasallians, one LaSalle, connecting with who we are deep within, going through the mess that is there and rediscovering there is a spark that is still alive despite the mess that I've found myself in. But this spark I will keep. I will reconnect with the warmth and the light that is within. And I will bring this light, however fragile it is, to others who may think they are in the dark. And I will share my little light with them, hoping that by doing so, one spark added to another, we can create a whole bright world where everyone, without exception, can feel welcome in a safe space, be myself, and embrace another who is as wounded as I am. Friends, there is no secret to the challenge that is before us. It is a challenge that you and I feel painfully deep in our hearts. We know we want to connect, but we know we are so painfully disconnected. But there are many others out there. I just need to have the courage to open up to new possibilities. And I will recreate this world. Be the change you want to see. Even if you are a spark, remember you could share that spark with others. Thank you very much. I am very happy to join you today and converse with you on what you think are important things for you and for the Lasallians in the world. Muchas gracias. Merci beaucoup.
Well, Brother Armin, thank you so much for all of that. Your words are so powerful for us all Lasallians, as well as the young brothers in formation like myself around the world. So thank you so much. I also want to say that I am so glad that you have a copy of the book, The State of Religion and Young People 2021, Navigating Uncertainty. When you complete the book, let me know if you see my name, because I work with Springtide. I have been fortunate enough to be a part of the research initiative. It has been a great support in my vocation, as well as my stability during the global-wide pandemic. Now, I'm not sure if anybody from the team is here, but I do know Marta and Josh are here. So I want to say those two are two super, I came up with it myself, super Lasallians who have helped me through all of this. So please enjoy the book, brother. Enjoy. Now, we shall proceed with the exciting part of our program, which is the question and answer portion. When we sent the Zoom link to your emails, we have also included a link to a Google form where you can send your questions in advance for Brother Armin. We have invited some Lasallians to speak today and share with us their questions. And some of them couldn't be with us here today, but we will be reading the questions on their behalf. And if you are going to speak, if you are called on to speak, may we remind you all gently to please speak slowly so you can help facilitate the translations. Lara, after you.
Sorry, I had some technical difficulties on my end, but thank you for that, Christian, for giving us the guidelines for our open forum. Now, brother, for our first question, we actually invited Nadej Lamboni from Togo to ask her question. Unfortunately, as she has trouble with her internet connection, we will be reading her question. Her question goes, how will we, as an institute, address the new social family movements and education around gender ideologies, abortion, egalitarian marriages, and so on?
I will respond the way the Pope responded. He says, well, you know, the very, very first thing that we must do for another, but most especially for young people, is to embrace them as they are, regardless of what color, what they think they are, and what other people think they are. The first thing is to embrace them as a brother and as a sister. Secondly, and I think, Christian, you'll be happy. I got this second piece of advice from Springtide. What we have not done and what we should be doing is to stop, look, and listen to the story of this person before us. Throw away the stereotypes, throw away all of these definitions, you can only embrace a person if your heart is big enough without any judgment to listen to the story of this person before you. There is no other way. I think part of our miseducation, and I would say maybe our schools have forgotten that when we train the minds and the hearts of our students, we should not do so in a way that we preclude listening and accepting people as they are. Sure, we can judge our actions, but that should come later. The first action is really to welcome, to embrace, and to sincerely listen to the story, the experience of the other. I think all social movements start with that. It's so easy to create a club and pretend that you're connected, wear the same color of shirt, show that you are one La Salle, wear the same logo, but that's really all peripheral. What really matters is the depth of the connection, and I think once we are connected and we have listened sincerely to the story of the other without passing any judgment, then it's easier to navigate through all the other differences that we find. We will always have so many differences that with every person we meet. But let's start by looking at what is common. And once we have discovered what is common, I think we will all realize we're brother and sister to each other after all. And that's really what matters. When we do that, you don't need any laws. You don't need any policies because love will teach us how to act towards our brother and our sister. I don't know if I answered the question, but even today, I can see there are 262 participants. Problem with a meeting like this is we can't really see each other eye to eye. We really need to come up with opportunities where we could be really physically close. But there may be other ways whereby our connection with each other is not just peripheral, but actually deep. No? And I think it starts with knowing and listening to each other. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that response, Brother Armin. Embrace them as they are, as a brother or a sister. Thank you for that. So, Brother Armin, got one more question for you. The next question comes from Brother David Garcia from Mexico. Hermano David, are you able to ask Brother Armin the question?
Hola, sí, con
Hola.
mucho gusto. La puse en inglés en el chat para que sea un poco más fácil para los traductores. Mi pregunta que le envié en el formulario, pensando un poco todavía sin saber toda la riqueza de lo compartido, que en cierta medida creo que ya hay parte de la respuesta en lo que nos has compartido, hermano Armin, y por eso te lo agradezco. La pregunta es, ¿cuál es el rol principal de nuestro instituto? El rol al que estamos llamados como instituto, como lo más importante. Y viendo o de frente a este rol o a esta llamada, ¿cuál es tu visión del instituto en 10 años?
Gracias. 10 years is too far away. I may not even be alive in 10 years. the challenge for us is not about tomorrow. The challenge for us is today. The problems we are facing today in Ukraine, in Myanmar, in Uganda, in South Sudan, is so real that if I am disconnected from that, I am missing out on something real and true. You don't have to be right in front of a problem to recognize how serious that problem is. But can you imagine there are 1 million Lasallians in the world, students? Do you think if these 1 million students can come together for one project, let's say we plan. Next week, we invite all Lasallians to plant 1 tree and take care of it. Can you imagine? Our world will be greener. We can breathe fresher air because I planted 1 tree, but together with all Lasallians, we have made this world 1 million trees better, brighter, greener. I think we have not discovered the treasure and the power that we have in our hands today. What if every Lasallian next month will say, go out of your school, go out of your house, walk 3 miles, 2 miles to an area that is so different from your own experience, and try to meet one person, ask her name, look into her eyes, ask about her story, and bring that story with me when I go to school or when I kneel down in prayer. You don't have to give the person anything. You don't have to spend. You just need 20 minutes of your time, courage to open your heart to someone new. Then next month, Lasallians in the world will have 1 million new friends who will be a brother and a sister to me. Isn't that a wonderful way of gifting our world today? Don't think of 10 years from now. Don't think of next year. Today, I can listen to a sad story of someone who feels so disconnected. Nobody listens to him. I want to hurt myself because nobody understands me. Is there one Lasallian from this group of 258 who's willing to spend 15 minutes listening to a person who has no friend? We don't have to come up with a big project. We just have to dig deep into our hearts, because deep down there, in the simplest of projects, we will discover the heart of John Baptist de La Salle. It is in you, it's in everyone here. We just need to discover that spark. And I really hope, if John can start a congregation, he can be a founder at 29 years old by making one simple step, a first step. we can also do that today, not tomorrow, today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother David, for your question. And of course, to Brother Armin for your great response. Really, the challenge for us is not about tomorrow, but really what we have today and the value of being collective. So, therefore, we should really discover the treasure and power in our hands today. And today, we start. And also, something that I got from Brother Armin's response that really captured me as a Lasallian is that love will teach us how to act. That's a very, very powerful statement that was raised earlier. And I hope that we can live by with that certain phrase in our community as we go along, especially in the years to come. While our conversations are getting more interesting, unfortunately, we have to continue to the next part of our program due to time constraints. Please be assured that the questions sent in the Google form will be gathered and organized by the technical team, and it will be sent to Brother Armin. Now, let us proceed to doing a quick photo or a Zoom feed with Brother Armin. May I invite Alejandro Heron from the LS Media Tech team to lead us in this process.
Hola, Alejandro.
Hi, brother. How are you? Wait. So, okay, we have a lot of people, so it's going to take time. So, can someone help me pin Brother Armin so he appears in all the screenshots, please? Spotlight, Brother Armin, sorry. Excellent. Thank you so much. So, everybody turn on the camera and smile. Okay, first page of 6. 1, 2, 3. Okay, second page. Smile. 1, 2, 3. Next one. 1, 2, 3. Smile, smile. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I think that's it. Thank you so much.
Yay.
Okay, so thank you so much, Brother Armin, for your time. I hope I didn't blink, and I hope my hair looked fine for the picture. So yes, thank you. Well, be well, Brother Armin, and as I've heard you say many times, animo. So gracias.
Thank you so much, Brother Armin. Christian has been practicing that animo spirit, so I'm glad he raised that. So at this point, we will have a short break for our translators. So thank you so much to our translators who are here. We will be back in about 7 minutes. Again, we will be back in about 7 minutes. So we will see you
3 months since Russian tanks rolled into Ukraine.
After the break. Thank you.
Been more than 3 months since Russian tanks rolled into Ukraine.
Russian-backed forces have taken control of the city.
Russian invasion of Ukraine.
Its estimates to at least 442,000. The more than 4 million people who fled Ukraine.
Many Ukrainian refugees are in similarly dire straits.
Since the Russian Federation launched a military offensive against Ukraine on February 24, 2022, more than 5.5 million Ukrainians have been displaced from their homes, their city, and their country. Most of them are women and children. While 3 million Ukrainians have immigrated to Poland, other bordering territories also feel the pressure of mounting immigration, including Slovakia, Hungary, and Romania. LaSalle institutions are present in all of these countries. As Lasallians, we must respond to these refugee needs. And that's why we launched the La Salle for Ukrainians appeal, which enables us to immediately provide refugees aid. Early responses to this appeal have been generous, but this humanitarian emergency is not over. Ever-increasing numbers of displaced families need a place to live, and their children need a school to attend. Through the La Salle for Ukrainians appeal, we are partnering with our Lasallian schools to enroll children free of charge, give them school materials, provide language instruction, offer daily meals, and support other refugee family needs. Some of our schools creatively find spaces to host these children within their facilities. Other schools are facing as intermediaries, pairing refugees with local host families. To further assist, in Poland, 5 refugee mothers were hired in our educational ministries to help them begin a new career and a new life. Refugees have not only fled to the border countries, but also to other European countries, such as Austria, which today has welcomed more than 70 students for free in our Lasallian schools. In Italy, one of our schools hosts 7 children and their mothers within their school facilities, and 7 other unaccompanied minors have been enrolled for academic study. The Palma de Mallorca communities is hosting 3 families, totaling 18 people. As you can see, our European communities and schools are taking action to help refugees. But Lasallians are responding globally. We are witnessing great solidarity as financial assistance is being received from Lasallian worldwide. You too can be part of this. You can help by donating through our website, lasallefoundation.org, or you can energize fundraising in your school or assist in providing shelter for refugees. Will you be part of it?
That we present, as well as feeling the presence of God in this very Zoom call. Just a quick check. Can we see if the translations are working on Zoom? A gentle reminder to please click on the globe interpretation icon to select your preferred listening language. And can some of you give me a virtual thumbs up if you can hear us on each channel? Inglés, Español, French. Okay. All right. I'm getting some thumbs up, which is great. Okay. Excellent. Excelente. And excellent. I've been practicing that all night. So, in the presence of St. John Baptiste de La Salle, let us continue the program. Lara?
Yes, Christian. And today, we have invited a guest who is currently live from the Mother House in Rome, Italy. She will share with us more information about a fundraising initiative for San Isidro Labrador School in Pozo, Colorado, Paraguay. Let us all welcome Laura Ballerini, the Communication Coordinator of the LaSalle Solidarity and Development Secretariat. Hi, Laura. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. If I can share the screen, I would love to share with you the initiative from our Secretariat of Solidarity and Development. Thank you. Okay, so thank you so much for inviting me to spend some time with you. It's a great pleasure to be here. First of all, I would like to thank the Young Lasallians for organizing this wonderful event and our brother superior for his words. My name is Laura Ballerini, and I work for the Institute Solidarity and Development Secretariat and its charity organization, the LaSalle Foundation. Our mission is to implement international solidarity projects by providing technical and financial assistance to our Lasallian educational centers located in the most fragile countries or contexts. We support Lasallian works which benefit vulnerable and underserved groups. Each year, we carry out a vast array of projects aimed at one main goal: education for all. Our dream is that every child can go to school and that every young person can train fully for a bright and productive future. To remove all obstacles that prevent children and youth from achieving success, we implement programs that promote access to education, staff formation, social and environmental sustainability, and gender equality. Today, I would like to tell you about a specific project concerning our most precious resource, water. As Nelson Mandela reminds us, access to water is a basic human right and a common goal that we must achieve for everyone, everywhere. This year, institute-wide designated project is the San Isidro Labrador School in Pozo, Colorado, Paraguay. This school is located in a semi-arid region known as El Chaco. Here, 90% of the inhabitants live in rural and isolated areas. They typically are employed by low-income in agricultural haciendas, and as such, they face multidimensional poverty. Due to the extreme distance between schools and the poor condition of roads and transportation, many parents cannot take their children to school. They must instead take them to work. This lack of educational opportunity for children keeps families in a cycle of poverty from which they cannot exit. In this context, our primary and secondary school, San Isidro Labrador in Pozo, Colorado, represents the alternative for a better future. Thanks to its dormitories, the school creates a safe environment for 230 pupils who live on campus and can attend classes every day. But in the town of our school, Pozo, Colorado, there is no municipal water supply, rivers, lakes, or freshwater sources. Drilled wells extract only unusable saline water. For years, our school tried to remedy this situation by collecting rainwater from rooftops. But water supplies were never sufficient to meet the school's needs for the entire school year. The lack of water in the dry season stops educational activities, compromising the children's educational future. Hundreds of students are forced to stop their education because there is no water. This is why we decided to respond to this need by implementing a rainwater harvesting system. By collecting land and roof rainwater in large ponds for use later, the school can meet its current and future needs, ensuring continuity of the school year to the students. As you can see, we have already built the retaining ponds, which efficiently and centrally collect rainwater. And these ponds are right next to our school. In order to finish our project, we need to complete the last two phases. Phase 2 is to build a water purification and storage plant, and phase 3 is to provide sanitary wastewater treatment for the effluents. This project is being designed to last 50 years. The cost is estimated at approximately $200,000, but together, as one, we can raise the funds necessary to provide water for hundreds of children and youth. So my question for you today is, will you join us? You can help us by energizing fundraising in your school or in your community. You can donate through our website, lasallefoundation.org, or you can contact me, and together we can strategize how to engage your friends, your school, and your community. You can organize an event, such as musical or talent show, sell tickets to participate and donate the proceeds. Or you can sell cakes and other things during Christmas time or on Founders Day and donate the proceeds. Or you can accept our challenge and for 1 week or 1 month, commit to reducing water consumption by responsible gestures at home, such as taking shower of less than 10 minutes, turning off the taps, or not buying sodas or soft drinks, which require a huge amount of water, and donate how much you saved. Throughout the coming year, you can help us raise awareness of the water issue with people around you and ensure that hundreds of Lasallians like you and me can access clean water and continue to receive an education for their future. If you are an educator or if you work with young people, you can use our Global Citizenship campaign, designed for students of all ages. This campaign focuses on one of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Every year in October, we launch an international campaign together with a network of Lasallian, Claritian, and Marist NGOs. This year's campaign, supporting the San Isidro Labrador School in Pozo, Colorado, focuses on Sustainable Development Goal number 6, clean water and sanitation. So stay tuned to receive videos, brochure, poster, and teaching aid materials, which will raise the awareness of students regarding how to take care of our most precious resource, water. Because, as our students remind us, so thank you so much for your time and your attention, and thank you from all our Pozo, Colorado students. Thank you so much.
Okay, well, Lara, thank you so much for that. It was such an informative presentation. And I will say that I will personally take the commitment to conserve our water of this wonderful world. All my friends, Ialu, McLaughlin Social Justice Institute, all of you, you can hold me to it. So I'm expecting text messages every day saying, Camacho, did you conserve water today? And I'll have to put the bottle of soda down. So so thank you so much for that, Lara.
Thanks to you. Thanks to all of you.
Of course. So thank you for that amazing reflection of our Lasallian home in Paraguay. The prayers of our founder and our association will be with you tonight and forever as we reflect on the Lord's children in Paraguay and around the world. And now I have the honor to introduce an amazing individual who was one of the first volunteers of Indivisa Manent. They will share with us some updates and upcoming exciting events for Indivisa Manent. LaSalle online global community, let us welcome Sean Thomas, who is currently live from the UK. Hi, Sean. It is so good to see you again. And I believe this is about our 4th Zoom together in the last 2 years, something like that. So, hello, Sean.
Hi, everybody. And yes, Christian, it is absolutely wonderful to be back with everybody. Hello, live from the UK. As always, it's good to be here. So, as you all know, so much has happened since May 2020. We have expanded our number of online volunteers. The Indivisa Manent community has grown bigger and our reach has become wider. And this is because of the help of over 120 online volunteers from all over the world who are beginning to organize and manage projects such as this today. We're so grateful to each of those volunteers and so excited for this list to expand even further. We have also had an induction process where our human resources team have reached out to each of our volunteers. And don't worry, for those who haven't been contacted yet, please expect the core team to reach out to you through email very soon. We have also shared online resources as well as organize our materials and publish them on our social media accounts, so Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So keep a lookout on all of those. Also, please note that an upcoming event is the International Lasallian Days for Peace. And as always, this runs from September 21st to October 21st. And we are excited to share more about this as the time gets closer. So keep your eyes peeled. For now, please all connect with the Indivisa Manent community. We encourage you to tell your friends and your colleagues to join the community and to join in with all of our exciting projects. We are so happy to have you with us and we cannot wait to do more with you. And you can also scan the QR code that is on the screen and this will take you to the link. And this is also being placed in the Zoom chat. So for now, it's been great to be with you all. We're so happy to have you. Thank you so much for your time and it's great to see you. And also a special shout out to our translators for their time with us today and to help keep us all connected, as without them, things like this just wouldn't happen. So thank you for having me, everyone. God bless. Take care.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Sean. And I do recall attending the International Day of Peace 2 years ago, and it was phenomenal. And I was so new to the international world that I remember when Keen texted me and said, oh, it's at this time. I said, hey, Keen, is that Eastern Standard Time? And he goes, yeah. And I looked at it and it was 10 o'clock at night. So, but it was an amazing experience and I really enjoyed it. So thank you, Sean. And I'm so proud, and we all are, of how far we have come already. Well, everybody, this was an amazing Zoom call. I personally am filled with hope that we can carry our Lasallian charism to help our communities thrive in the presence of God. I am filled with the Holy Spirit to be called to share our mission and work on a local level and breach the glass ceiling, as we say in the United States, to fulfill the mission of our wonderful founder, St. John Baptiste de La Salle.
Yes, indeed. That was a wonderful event, Christian. Brother Armin's talk really allowed me to realize that our lives, just like St. LaSalle, we go through ordinary experiences each day, but it can always be changed by extraordinary events. We should willingly do things that we are called to do, but we should never forget to do these things with hope and passion. It is important that we should reconnect with ourselves first. We should find our own Adrian Yell that will allow us to open up to the realities of the world. Second, we should be courageous enough to engage with people as well, stranger or not. And together, we will create a safe space for everyone. And of course, let us continue to fight for clean and accessible water, as what Laura was able to share with us, the experiences and realities of the world. Let us continue to support the fundraising initiative for San Isidro Labrador School in Pozo, Colorado, Paraguay. Truly, this has been an extraordinary encounter with the Lasallian community. Don't you think, Christian?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Muchas gracias for your reflection, Lara. I cannot wait for you and I to talk this week about the call. So, we would like to extend a special and humble thank you to our translators for their courageous voices and passion for our conversation here today. Saide Cipher, Simona Zebellini, and Maria Teresa Peca. I thank you for your patience with at the speed of our voices. I was very calm with my accent because I have a very Philadelphia accent and I call things like coffee and water. So when we meet up sometime, you'll have to hear me. We would like to thank Brother Armin Luistro for answering the call from God to be our superior general and holding the Lasallian values with himself and sharing it with the world that we are ready to impact upon. Lara Ballerini, thank you so much, and as well to the Solidarity and Development Secretariat. Muchas gracias. Your activism for peace and justice for our Lasallian mission influences young Lasallians all around the world. Dios te bendiga, mi hermana.
Of course, we would also like to thank our international Young Lasallians prayer group. It is composed of Brother Uche Elizue, Alejandro Carrasco, Margot Lemer, and Sean Thomas. Thank you so much. Of course, to our Indivisa Manent working teams as well. My co-host, Camacho, it was a great honor hosting with you. To our tech team, Lian Lazo, Kim Lim, Leo Acevedo, Enzo Velasquez, and Carolina Caro. Our partner organizations and institutions that have helped and allowed us to broadcast this online event. First, LaSalle Global and the Communications Office in the Generalate, LaSalle East Asia District, District of Ireland, Great Britain, and Malta, LaSalle Hong Kong International Lasallian Base for Peace, OMAL, World Union of Lasallian Former Students, De La Salle Distrito Mexico Norte, LaSalle Centro America, Panama, LaSalle Distrito Arlep, and of course, De La Salle, Philippines.
Thank you for that, Lara. So many different people involved in organization. It's true, and we hold it very close to our hearts. And finally, we would like to thank all of you, Lasallians, for taking the time out of your morning or afternoon, evening, even if might be 1 o'clock in the morning, to speak with us in the presence of God as we learn about what our next steps are as Lasallians and apostles to our brother Jesus.
Once again, We have been your hosts. I am Lara Hamalesa.
And I am Christian Jesus Camacho.
This is Indivisa Manent.
We remain united. We are La Salle. And one more time, Animo!
Animo! Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening, morning, or afternoon.
Donde podamos cantar, que ninguna luz se pueda apagar, no alejarnos nunca más y vivir juntos en fraternidad. La Sallita despierta ya, la utopía cerca está en este mundo ya.
Very good. Camacho and Lara, gracias. Thank you. Very good to see everyone. David, thank you for the question.
Recording stopped.
Saludos a todos y gracias.